look into doing and see if we even want to do it further out in the future to see if, 4 years removed from North Reading High School, having graduated, what are your plans?
Because I think that's probably as important, if not more important, than the students getting into a school.
Right,
What did they do when they got there?
Yeah.
And so if there's any way it's probably a lot more difficult to track once the kids are out of our control.
Control type of,
We don't really have
move on,
a way to track it, but I think moving to the digital transcript is definitely the way to go. And it's just that so much of it is online right now, the whole process.
I think we're fine. I think students do the whole process online, from application to search to
everything,
registering for SAT,
everything's online.
everything is online.
Great.
Thank you very much. All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bernard?
Thank you, Mike. That's it as far as showcasing. I do have my new course proposal.
Right, but I'm going to shift things. I think I'm going to try to get the student report in,
Okay.
if I could. And I think I'd like to get the elementary principals up here. Is Natalie Attired, student representative here, John Murray. So John actually can give his report, and then we also have a senior trip request,
Yes.
so he can do that. That'll be quick. Then we'll have Ms. Molly and Mr. McKay and Kathy deal with the kindergarten issue, and then we'll bring John back and we'll do it all very
Absolutely.
quickly.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
So, John Murray, go ahead.
Thank you. I have the student report this week. Not
you bring it
that
down.
much to talk about, but still some important things. Midterms are next week, and the way the schedule's set up, we have Monday off. Tuesday's a full day of school, and we have our first 2 exams, and then we have 2 classes. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are half days, and we have 2 exams each day. The semi-dance is the last Friday of the month, the 28th. The student council is having a fundraiser at Fuddruckers on this Thursday. Tomorrow there was supposed to be a middle school information night here, but I'm assuming that it's going to be postponed.
Next Wednesday night.
Next Wednesday.
Thank you, Jonathan, for announcing that.
The SLAM had their mentoring session last Thursday, and we've been working, I'm on the board of directors of SLAM, and us and the advisors have been working on a survey for the freshman class to see how their transition has been from our summer orientation throughout the program. We have one more mentoring session. So we've tried to hit on all aspects of the program to see are our mentors being effective? Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? Have the freshmen benefited from the program? So we're hoping to see that this is our first time to see if we accomplish what we set out to do. NHS had a meeting today. Our main goal right now is to find a speaker for the induction. We have a couple of names coming out, but I'm giving it previews just yet. The Model UN you heard is going to Harvard that weekend, the 28th, and Barnum is their first shows of the last weekend in February, and the hockey team came in second at the Roy Condon Invitational. My student work, I have 2 things. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to show you this time, but I think you'll get the point. 2 projects, 2 PowerPoints. First one was my Spanish 5 class. We had to do projects on Christmas in Spanish-speaking countries. It's a little different than it is in the United States. Not so much consumer-based. We had to do research on how they celebrate the holiday season, what are important dates, customs, traditions, things like that. I had Nicaragua. Their Christmas starts December 6th and goes to Christmas Eve. They don't actually celebrate Christmas. But different things. And we also got to make food. I made fried dough cookies. I brought them in and everyone made a little food. And,
Now, when did you bring your fried dough cookie? Oh, they would have been good by now.
well, I was making them the first meeting before I got snowed.
Yeah, some of us were here.
I don't know if we change our policy. I don't think you can bring fried dough cookies.
Oh, that's right. Well, David Trove is gone, so. Miss Willis might allow cookies.
Thank you.
And the second project, Mr. Vance, you might like this, in my sports and entertainment marketing class, the name of the class kind of gives it away, the big thing, the past month of the college bowl games. So we had to do projects, we all got assigned a bowl game, we had to figure out why they were put in that city, why the teams were, and the marketing strategies used to get people to go to the games. So I had the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, I kind of got an easy one. Why would people want to go to Hawaii? I don't know, so we had to do the teams involved, outside attractions, things like that. So we're kind of taking it from a private sector, why would you market that city? So that was
Well,
the
that's the
second
first question, because a lot of people ask now, why are there 35 balls?
Yeah.
There used to be 4 or 5, and then it's obviously money driven.
You range from the Rose Bowl to the GoDaddy.com
Yeah.
Bowl.
It's a goal in Detroit, I think.
Yeah.
To get those out.
You know, it was kind of interesting, there was a lot of, I remember we had the presentations today, and there was one in Mobile, Alabama. The group had a hard time coming up with outside attractions, so it was, there's only one restaurant in this town, it's a Denny's. So it was one of those things, like I said, I was kind of fortunate I got the Hawaii Bowl.
Oil derricks, might be an oil derrick museum down there or something, right?
And then part two, the senior class
Yes.
trip proposal. It is the same trip as the past 2 years. It's the whitewater rafting in Forks, Maine. And just so you know what's in the packet before I start talking, the first page is what the senior class officers and the advisors sent to Ms. Willis. The second page is just copies of the brochure at the front and back. The third is the user participation agreement, the liability form of the company. And the fourth is the invoice from last year's trip. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little different for us because of numbers and costs and things like that, but just so you can get an idea of last year's trip. So it's the same trip as last year. The company is Northern Outdoors. It's located in Forks, Maine. The trip would be Saturday, May 14th to Sunday, May 15th. We would leave out of this front lot of the high school at about 9 a.m. and we'd be returning 9 p.m. on Sunday night, the 16th. We're using the same bus company as well. It's a C&J bus company, and we would use 2 or 3 buses depending on how many people go. Going up to Maine, we would stop once for lunch, and we would arrive around 2:30 in the afternoon on that Saturday. After dinner, there's times for the teachers, the chaperones, and the students to relax and some games and dinner and things like that. Sunday morning, breakfast would be at 7. And whitewater rafting would start at 8. Lunch would be on the river. We'd stop in the middle. And the cost of the trip, it's approximately $200. Last year there was a little, they messed up on the cost of putting it at about $200 just before we get the numbers. So it's going to be somewhere around there. Offset the cost, we're going to plan on doing a couple fundraisers, bake sales specifically, maybe a fun breakfast night, and also a casual dress day for the faculty here at the high school. We're hoping that we get about 80 to 90 students to go, about 10 chaperones, which will be the ratio, and that's about it. Any questions?
This is a great, last year, I think this is the 3rd or 4th year we've had it, and everything I hear is it really served its purpose. It's a great bonding trip for these kids. It's really the last time, a lot of them are going to have a big social event like this, other than, graduation and prom, but this is, the kids are away for, a night up, and everything I've heard about it is it's just a tremendous trip. And the rafting itself, is a challenge. It's not the, class 5 rapids or whatever, but it is a challenge for the kids, and they have to all participate and learn and do.
So bonding, team working,
Right.
skills.
I think it's
It's
pretty
not
good.
Disney World, but it's a nice trip.
Right.
And
Any other questions for John on the senior class trip? And a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John.
And look where he's standing, just to intimidate me. This, next I'm going to.
He is the host.
He is
That's
the
right, I'm the
host.
host. I'm happy to
Getting
be
you the
here.
host, Joe. I'm sorry.
Get your last up.
Sorry. Yes,
That's,
Mr. Bowers.
you go right ahead.
No, as
Whole
Mr. Bauer
team.
says, you'll be here till we close, so.
That's right.
I'd like to call up Chris Molly and Glenn McKay. Oh, I didn't see Sean Colleen sitting back there. We wanted to discuss an issue that came up, was it a year ago or so, or 6 months ago? Last year. Related to kindergarten enrollment and siblings, et cetera. We had some parents in here, we got some follow-up emails. I haven't gotten any lately, I don't know if anybody else has. But we wanted to address this issue once and for all, so I'll let Kathy take it.
Yes, thank you. In your December 20th packet, there was a handout, and it was titled North Reading Public Schools Rationale and Recommendation for full-day kindergarten lottery procedure. So within the handout, I detailed what the issue was, and that was last spring. There was concern on the part of parents regarding the full-day kindergarten lottery process implemented across the districts when more students requested access to the full-day programs than slots available. And the major issue was that parents who had siblings in the home school wanted to be given priority for full-day kindergarten slots over other students in that home school. So I gave you some background, and in the background we talked about all parents have the opportunity to register for half-day kindergarten. We are required by state law to offer a half-day kindergarten program to all students. In addition, the North Reading School District chooses to offer a tuition-based full-day program. We are not required to do so, but we do, and it is tuition-based. In the event of more children requesting a seat in a full-day program than slots available, a lottery is held to fill up to 18 slots in each full-day K classroom. In anticipation of this situation, the parent is notified of the open enrollment opportunity in writing when the parent chooses to apply for the full-day K lottery. So they are made aware of this right from the beginning. And the parent is asked to answer yes or no to the following question and then circle the school of choice. And the question is, if for some reason we are not placed in our district school, we would be interested in open enrollment at one of the other elementary schools if available. And then they indicate which choice priority that would be. So during the, it says the 2010-2011 kindergarten registration process, it should say 2009-2010. The requests for access to the Hood and the Little Schools full-day K classrooms exceeded the slots that were available. The Batchelder School had full-day kindergarten slots available after all Batchelder full-day kindergarten requests were honored. So a lottery was held at the Hood and the Little Schools to fill each of the full-day classrooms that were left available at the Batchelder. At those schools. And then the students that were not selected through the lottery process were given the opportunity to fill those available slots that were left at the batch. So there were more people that applied at the Hood and Little than were slots available, and then there were extra slots that were open at the batch.
Okay, let me stop there. So in terms of when the students apply at Hood, Little, Batch, is it first come, first served?
No.
So how do we determine, I guess that's where I want to start. How do we determine if there's 18 slots at the Little? How do we determine who gets those 18 slots?
Through the registration process, parents fill out the application form, and we collect as many forms as are filled out for the full-day K program.
Correct, but if we have 18 slots, we get 24, is it just a lottery to pick
It's a
those
lottery.
18? So that's where the lottery
Every
comes in.
family, yeah, so what happens is, for example, you have X amount of students who express interest in full-day kindergarten. So say at the Bachelor School, it might have been, it was like 41 last year. On the day of registration, you assign every family in the day number. So you one, you definitely have it. Once you got to 36, you had 2 classes. Anything over that, you were doing 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So at that time, you might have been telling a family you were 40. I'm not sure if there'll be 3 sections of full day. Right now, you're on a wait list. You don't know where they're going to be. But it's just to give the families the most information as quickly as possible so they can make the best decision for their children.
So if we get more applications and seats available, we have a lottery for everybody, every single application. Okay, that's,
Yeah.
okay, I just want to understand that.
Yes. Any other questions after this point? Okay, because we're going to start getting into numbers now. So a lottery, the students that were not selected through the lottery for each of the Hood and the Little were given the opportunity to fill those slots at the batch. 6 students from the Little School and 7 students from the Hood chose to fill the available slots at the Batchelder School. Following the process, a group of parents expressed concern regarding the lack of priority given to those students requesting the full-day kindergarten slots if they had a sibling in either the Hood or the Little Schools. So then we did some investigating around the numbers, and part of the handout that I provided to you gave you some data around the enrollment, the number of students with